Chris
Sunday
Mannix?
duel.
Oh, time now for Say What? Rush
guy.
through it. Celtics general manager, one of my favorite general managers in the league. Nice guy, all-around great guy. Danny Ainge had a health scare recently and has been out of the public eye. Yesterday, he spoke with reporters. Say what?
A lot of people are, concerned about the Celtics, but also concerned about you and your health. And have you had to change or modify anything you normally do since the heart attack?
Yeah, I mean, I'm eating more plants, and not the kind of plants in Walton's garden.
Oh, that's a Bill Walton shot?
Yeah.
Low one.
Yeah.
That's a Bill Walton likes to get high comment.
Yes.
Good for Danny Ainge.
Hey, Danny had to change. Danny 10 years ago had the heart attack. He had to change then. Gonna have to change again now.
That's your guy, Jenna Wolf.
That's my guy.
See, this is the thing.
Not gonna slow down.
Look,
Here we
if
go.
he would have responded to Jenna Wolf long time ago,
No
we'd have had
shot
him on
he'd
some
have a heart
type of.
attack.
Yeah, he would have
No
been eating
shot.
plenty of greens. He'd be in
on a
better
health
shape and
regimen.
everything.
Yeah.
Mannix, how many grandkids Danny Ainge got?
Oh, I have no
We're
idea.
in the double digits.
I don't
right?
think we're in double-digit grandkids yet. No, we're
I thought it's like 18. Or
I think it
something
is.
like that.
18
Listen.
grandkids.
Yeah.
My guy then, my guy now.
Jenna wasn't down for that now.
No, not.
I'll leave that one alone. All right.
Feel better, Danny. Keep eating those plants. Klay Thompson warmed up.
Or go to Bill
Game
Walton. He got
last
something
night.
for you to get you
Make
right.
you feel better either way.
But the training
Hell of a lot
staff
better than kale.
on the Warriors felt that Klay Thompson should sit it out, and so he did, and the Warriors missed him, falling to the Raptors in his absence. 123-109 was your final. As for KD's potential return, he said he'll, quote, know more in the morning, so we shall see later today. Meanwhile, Steve Kerr said he expects Klay to be out there Friday night. Chris, will injuries be the biggest factor in the NBA Finals moving forward?
I think they will be, because it's a lot to ask Durant and Klay Thompson to come back in a Game 4 and be really effective. Now, for Durant, he's still not practicing.
He's not going to play in Game 4.
This is what I'm talking about. Like, you've got to go full, if history is any indicator, you've got to go full 5-on-5, ramp it up to a high level, and be in a simulated NBA game before you step out there on the floor. And this type of injury, which Durant's dealt with in the past, I just don't see him rushing back because of it. Now, Klay Thompson, I could see him playing in Game 4, but as soon as he steps out on the floor, Nick Nurse is going to go at him and say, you have to prove that defensively you can stay out there in the court. Now, they may try to hide him on a Danny Green who stands in the corner more often, but if it is Danny Green's going to run off more screens than he ever has in the history of his career just to get Klay Thompson moving and test out that hamstring. So, yes, I think, with those two players being out, that's the biggest storyline.
I'm very confident in these two things. Klay is going to play in Game 4.
At least try.
I mean, the fact that he was fighting to play up to 40 minutes before Game 3 leads me to believe there's no chance they're keeping him out of Game 4. And just as confident as I am in that, I am in this. KD is not going to play. They're not even having a real practice today. They said they're going to try to get KD in some 3-on-3 today. You can't play after a month off with some 3-on-3 the day before a game. Now, they have the full weekend before Game 5, so if he gets some 3-on-3 today, he could then get a real practice in over the weekend and play in Game 5 on Monday. But KD is not going to play tomorrow.
But one thing that we should listen to in the report, KD said, I'll know a lot more tomorrow. So that's not only the 3-on-3 that he's going to try to, but he's also going to see, how am I going to recover from the work that he did yesterday? Because that's one of the #1 tests. Before I can even get you in 3-on-3, simulated any type of practices, I need to put you in a strenuous situation, give you 12 hours, see how the body responds. And then they're going to put him on the court. And I don't believe they're going to ever get to 5-on-5. I believe they're going to compromise in this, because Steve Kerr has been saying, he must practice, he must do it. And then he was like, I believe that 3-on-3 will be enough. And this is the thing that I'm concerned about. I believe Klay will play in game number 4, because even if he tears his hamstring off the bone, he'll be healthy. All right? And they're going to give him a contract.
Oh, you mean he'll be healthy for next season?
Yeah.
Even if he suffers from worse
they're going to give him a contract. KD, what could go wrong? He could re-aggravate that calf, or he could injure. Most guys that have torn their Achilles, they said they either have a problem with their lower foot and their heel, which is the attachment point where that Achilles starts, and or their calf. That's what typically happens. Your Achilles typically is not going to just blow out. You either got something wrong with your calf or in the foot area. And if I was Kevin Durant, I would be worried about that. We are less than a month from free agency. They're in 2 different spots, so I believe that they will treat it that way. I don't believe Kevin Durant's going to play before Game 5.
But you think that, look, I think there's just as big a concern with Klay Thompson entering free agency moving forward. I mean, I'm not sure that there's going to be a full max level offer for Klay. I would hope that the Warriors would do that, but if they don't come with a full max level offer, he's going to look around at other teams and see what's out there. I mean,
it wouldn't affect the other teams looking at him because it is a classic hamstring. That's not something you would have to worry about. Now, as far as the money, they're going to have to worry about that regardless of an injury. Klay has the type of, they had to hold him out.
Right.
He was in uniform last night, so he's going to play. So he's going to push it. I don't see KD pushing himself too because he's got a lot more at stake than Klay does.
That's true. I'm extremely skeptical, though, for the reasons I just said, of Klay being a huge factor in Game 4.
Well, that's just it. Even if he does come back, how many minutes? How much can he do on defense? How is that going to affect what happens if you have no KD?
Well, listen, they're going to have to. They are not going to have the luxury that Klay presents defensively, which is the perfect complement for Steph and a guy who gave Kawhi trouble in Game 2. Yeah. It's going to, and you might have to compromise your entire defensive scheme. You might have to go to more of an NBA style, almost zone defense because, or just switch everything. Ask Klay, because you're not going to ask him to fight through screens. You can say guard Danny Green, but until he moves, like you said, because he is not going to be able to, not if they want him to play 35 minutes, not if they want him to have a real impact on the game, but injuries have already been the biggest factor in these finals. Kawhi is not fully healthy. We have seen how that has impacted his play. Boogie is not himself. We saw that impact his play in Game 1 and Game 3, and if we're being honest, the only reason 11, 10, and 6 from Boogie is a great game is because it was coming off an injury. We didn't talk at all about Kevon Looney. You think they could have used him last night? Little rim protection. Yeah. Kevon Looney maybe catching some alley-oops. And that's not to mention Kevin Durant, who was just averaging 39 points a game in his 8 games before his injury, hadn't played in these
And we need to build see Game 4. In this series, no one's playing more minutes than Steph Curry. He's averaging 41 minutes. Does that affect him in game number 4 with the amount of energy he put out there last night? I saw LeBron drop 51. Man, he came back in game number 2. He wasn't the same. I mean, it took a lot out of not only how they lost the game, but the amount of energy you have to exert, and you don't get paid off with the win. Let's see how Steph responds to that.
And on that note, LeBron at least had some history of playing these super high minutes. I looked this up last night. I couldn't believe it. Since from the end of the 2015 finals, so it was 2016 to now, over these last 4 years, Steph has only played more than 41 minutes in overtime playoff games and playoff games against the Rockets. No NBA Finals games, 41-plus minutes. No games in any other series, 41-plus minutes. Game 7 of the 2016 NBA Finals, Steph Curry, 39 minutes, because he has to work so much offensively, running off those screens. Kerr tries not to put him in those positions. So he plays 43 minutes last night. It's the only time in the series where you only have 1 day between games. That's another, you know why he had to play those 43 minutes? Injuries. And so, like, that is the butterfly effect of these injuries is, to me, the story looming over these NBA finals.
And I think one thing you have to be fearful of going into the next game is that Curry might be able to give you that 40 points, but it'll be at a much more inefficient rate. I mean, he had 31 shots. He shot close to 50% from the floor. I think he can still give you a high number of points, but it might be on 41% or 42% shooting, which changes everything in the series.
So much for momentum for the point that I was going to make. I lost all of it.
Sorry.
No, if you're going to be the best player, you're going to be Steph Curry. Show up, don't complain, play your minutes, do it. I know.
He's not complaining.
We got to take a break. We'll see you later. Coming up, should Golden State feel confident about their title chances despite being down 2-1? That's
Steph Curry.
First things first.
Stop saying things you've never said and would never say.
I'm the corrector. He actually played 43 minutes and 15 seconds.
My God.
Jason Tatum